Hello. This video is just going to be quickly talking about some of the limitations that I've seen in C9's gameplay, and I will provide a very quick summary of how a higher level team will probably execute this plan just based upon the information that is being provided through C9's early vision and how they could have maximized their ability to stack a large wave on the top side of the map, which is inherently due to Aurelia's advantages early. So one thing to immediately notice is that LeBlanc is about to shove the wave, and afterwards Arya actually gets seen on the ward, and we are exactly from C9's perspective know where his ward can be. We know for a fact that he won't be like dropping any wards of the red buff because he's not nowhere in range to do so. So the moment that he makes a small movement and then returns, we actually even see the ward that is very being placed even before Blabber has any type of opportunity to show himself. So from here, what he could choose to do is completely avoid the sword and then go around to the other side and then take red and then even try to go for a top play. However, he makes a mistake by showing himself. And why this is a mistake, you may wonder, is something that you always have to think about the what ifs and then think about optimization. Because sure, the top wave is always going to be inevitably shoving, and as a result, it will be something that the Gnar will have to deal with anyway. However, what this lack of information could potentially cause is a couple things. First is, if the Qiyana's position is not known because the Raptors are not taken, then Sven and Vulcan could play this lane much more aggressively and then not have the seed control. The reason why Alistair chooses to go in and drop the full combos because he knows for a fact that Blabber cannot be in the bot side of the map. And then another thing is that Evie also is fully aware of the wave being stacked, and then he's able to read this play and then immediately starts backing off the moment that the wave is seen, and that he is just completely safe from this gank. And all these type of sequences and the fact that he was prepared for these type of maps shows that this is something that if C9 played a little bit more of a mind game, then they could have prevented an unfavorable trade on the bot side, which results in Misfortune burning his pot, or could have very well killed a Gnar who could have been much less prepared. So when we are looking at things like that, then we're thinking, what would a better team do? And in order to answer that question, then we have to look at how T1 and DK sequence actually went out, and how exactly Canyon managed to pilot this moment, but in a very different manner. So again, this is another sequence where he is currently getting warded out, and his location of the ward is rather clearly telegraphed just from the way that he plays. Because after level 1, he's able to effectively get the crash. And Faker drops a ward here. And then after realizing that the top wave stack is not going to effectively work, Canyon decides to path back down. And being aware of the ward that is being detected, he purposely avoids it. And it clears Krugs. And during this entire time, they do not have a clear assurance on where Canyon is. He could either be reset, he could be behind any of these lanes, or he could even be behind Faker, and then he could be just trying to support a lane or prevent a dive from happening. As a result, any of the early sequences that could have been potentially catastrophic because of the Castanet's lack of prio in the mid lane is all prevented. And he actually adds one additional dice to the trick, because he's fully aware of the fact that Viego is going to be going for the double scuttle, and as a result, he creates one additional gamble play, because he understands that with the bot side being pushed in, with largely just Faker having prio and then having invested the vision on the bot side, there's a high chance that this part is not warded. As a result, he goes to this top side and then just waits, and if the worst comes to worst, he just resets and then he just goes back to his Raptors and then he's able to clear away. And in the best case scenario, Khan returns to the lane and he leaves himself vulnerable for a gank angle. As a result, Khan immediately TPs. Then Khan is fully unaware of the fact that Canyon can possibly be here, and then he just gets ganked for free. And this is the type of play that will be purely impossible if the T1 is able to track Canyon's positioning. I hope that this shows like a restriction in terms of C9's gameplay and how much they could have played that early sequence better.